Hello everyone, and welcome back to BioScholar. Today, we're diving into the world of tissues. You might be wondering, what are tissues, and why are they so important? Well, stick around because we're about to break it down for you. So, let's start with the basics. Tissues are like the building blocks of our bodies. They're groups of specialized cells that team up to perform specific tasks. These tasks are vital for the proper functioning of our body, and tissues play a crucial role in making that happen. There are four main types of tissues in the human body: epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscle tissues, and nervous tissues. Let's discuss them one by one. Epithelial tissue is one of the four basic types of tissue in the body, and it plays a vital role in many different functions. The term epithelium comes from the Greek words epi and thel. This is the thin tissue forming the outer layer of a body's surface and lining the alimentary canal and other hollow structures. Epithelial tissue is found all over the body, including skin, lining of the digestive tract, respiratory tract, and urinary tract, glands, such as the sweat glands and salivary glands, lining of the blood vessels and other organs. There are two main types of epithelial tissue: simple epithelium and stratified epithelium. The simple epithelium is made up of a single layer of cells. It is found in areas where there is a need for rapid diffusion, such as the lining of the small intestine. The stratified epithelium is made up of multiple layers of cells. It is found in areas where there is a need for protection, such as the skin. There are also several subtypes of epithelial tissue, each with its own unique characteristics and functions. Some of the most common subtypes include squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, pseudostratified epithelium, and transitional epithelium. The squamous epithelium is made up of flat, scale-like cells. It is found in areas where there is a need for protection or absorption, such as the lining of the lungs and the blood vessels. Cuboidal epithelium is made up of cube-shaped cells. It is found in areas where there is a need for secretion or absorption, such as the lining of the kidneys and the small intestine. Columnar epithelium is made up of tall, column-like cells. It is found in areas where there is a need for secretion, such as the lining of the stomach and the intestines. Pseudostratified epithelium looks like it is stratified, but it is actually not. The cells are all connected at the base, but they vary in height. It is found in areas where there is a need for both protection and secretion, such as the lining of the respiratory tract. The functions of epithelial tissue vary depending on its location. Some of the most common functions include protection, secretion, absorption, excretion, filtration, sensory reception, etc. Epithelial tissue helps protect the body from harmful substances and pathogens. For example, the skin protects the body from the environment, and the lining of the digestive tract protects the body from harmful bacteria. Epithelial tissue secretes a variety of substances, including mucus, sweat, and hormones. For example, the sweat glands secrete sweat, which helps to cool the body. It also absorbs nutrients and other substances from the environment. For example, the small intestine absorbs nutrients from food. Epithelial tissue excretes waste products from the body. For example, the kidneys excrete urine, which contains waste products from the blood. Some epithelial tissues are specialized for sensory reception. For example, the taste buds are made up of epithelial tissue and are responsible for the sense of taste. Epithelial tissue is a vital part of the body. It performs a variety of important functions, including protection, secretion, absorption, excretion, filtration, and sensory reception. Epithelial tissue is found all over the body, and its type and location vary depending on its function. So, let's explore connective tissues together. First, let's break down the different types of connective tissues. We have connective tissue proper, which includes both loose connective tissue and dense connective tissue. Loose connective tissue contains collagen and elastin fibers, providing support and elasticity. Adipose tissue, a type of loose connective tissue, is primarily composed of fat cells and serves as an energy reservoir and insulation. Dense connective tissue, on the other hand, is densely packed with collagen fibers and can be further categorized into regular and irregular dense connective tissue. Tendons, which connect muscles to bones, allowing movement and transmitting muscle-generated force. And ligaments, which connect bones to other bones, on the other hand, stabilize joints and prevent excessive movement by connecting bones to other bones, fall under this category. Next, we have specialized connective tissues, which include cartilage, bone and blood. Cartilage is a firm, flexible tissue found in various parts of the body, providing support and reducing friction in joints. Bone tissue is hard and rigid, offering structural support and protecting vital organs. Blood, our fluid connective tissue, plays a crucial role in transporting oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste products throughout our bodies. Now, let's take a closer look at what makes up connective tissues. Connective tissues contain various cell types, including fibroblasts, which produce the extracellular matrix, adipocytes, responsible for fat storage, and chondrocytes and osteocytes, found in cartilage and bone, respectively. The extracellular matrix, or ECM, is a complex network of proteins and carbohydrates surrounding cells, consisting of protein fibers like collagen, elastic, and reticular fibers, as well as a gel-like ground substance composed of proteoglycans and glycoproteins. Connective tissues serve several vital functions in our bodies. They provide structural support to organs, bones, and muscles, ensuring our bodies maintain their shape and integrity. Connective tissues also offer protection, such as bones safeguarding vital organs like the brain and spinal cord. They facilitate connection by forming tendons and ligaments, allowing for movement and joint stability. Additionally, connective tissues have a role in storage, with adipose tissue storing energy and bones storing minerals like calcium and phosphorus. Blood, as a specialized connective tissue, is responsible for transporting vital substances throughout the body. Lastly, connective tissues house immune cells, contributing to our body's immunity against infections and diseases. Our bodies are incredible machines, and muscle tissues play a pivotal role in making them work. First, what exactly are muscle tissues? Well, they're one of the four primary types of tissues in our bodies, along with epithelial, connective, and nervous tissues. Muscle tissues are unique because they allow us to move, maintain posture, and perform various functions. There are three main types of muscle tissue: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Let's start with skeletal muscle tissue. It's attached to our bones by tendons throughout our body. Under a microscope, it appears striated, giving it a striped or banded look. Importantly, skeletal muscles are under voluntary control. That means we can consciously decide when and how to move them. Skeletal muscles are responsible for all those physical activities we love, like walking, running, and lifting. Now, let's move on to smooth muscle tissue. It lines the walls of various internal organs, like the digestive tract and blood vessels. Unlike skeletal muscle, smooth muscle lacks striations and looks smooth under the microscope. Smooth muscles are involuntary, which means we can't consciously control them. Instead, they're regulated by the autonomic nervous system. Smooth muscles are the unsung heroes of our bodies, facilitating processes like digestion and regulating blood flow. And finally, cardiac muscle tissue. This specialized muscle is exclusively found in the heart. It's striated, similar to skeletal muscle, but with a distinctive branching pattern and intercalated discs. Cardiac muscle is also involuntary, but it has its electrical conduction system that regulates the heartbeat. The autonomic nervous system can influence it. The cardiac muscle's primary job is to keep our hearts beating, ensuring blood is pumped throughout our bodies to supply oxygen. Before we wrap up, let's touch on some key characteristics shared by all muscle tissues. Muscles respond to electrical or chemical signals. They can contract and generate force. Muscles return to their original shape after contracting. They can stretch without damage. Muscle cells are often referred to as muscle fibers. Skeletal muscles work in motor units, controlled by motor neurons. Muscles require a lot of ATP to function. These incredible tissues keep us moving, ensure our organs function, and keep our hearts beating in the case of cardiac muscle. Nervous tissue. It's a fundamental part of our bodies and plays a crucial role in how we function. So, let's dive right in and explore what nervous tissue is all about. Nervous tissue is one of the 4 primary types of tissues in the human body, alongside epithelial, connective, and muscle tissues. It's primarily composed of 2 main components: neurons, often referred to as nerve cells, and neuroglia, also known as glial cells. Neurons are the units of nervous tissue. They have 3 main parts: the cell body, dendrites, and an axon. The cell body contains the nucleus and other organelles, while dendrites receive incoming signals, and the axon transmits those signals away from the cell body. Often, axons are insulated by a myelin sheath, which speeds up signal transmission. Neuroglia or glial cells are the unsung heroes of the nervous system. They provide support and protection to neurons. Types of glial cells include astrocytes, which maintain the blood-brain barrier and regulate the chemical environment around neurons, and oligodendrocytes and Schwann cells, which produce the myelin sheath. Microglia are the immune cells of the central nervous system, while ependymal cells help produce cerebrospinal fluid. So, what's the function of nervous tissue? Well, it's all about transmitting electrical impulses or nerve signals. These signals are vital for sensory perception, motor control, coordination, and communication within our bodies. Nervous tissue also plays a significant role in higher cognitive functions like memory, learning, and decision-making. To better understand how nervous tissue works, we need to talk about its organization. The nervous system is divided into 2 main parts: the central nervous system, which includes the brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, encompassing all other nerves and ganglia. Nervous tissue is organized into intricate circuits and networks of neurons. These networks work together to process and transmit information, allowing us to react to our environment, make decisions, and even form memories. And that, my friends, is the world of nervous tissue. It's a remarkable part of our bodies that enables us to experience the world around us and navigate through life. These 4 types of tissues come together to form our organs, which, in turn, team up in organ systems to keep our bodies running smoothly. Pretty amazing, right? Today, we have an exciting topic to delve into: plant tissues and their types. Whether you're a budding botanist or just curious about the world of plants, this video will provide you with valuable insights into the fascinating world of plant tissues. So, let's get started. To begin, let's understand what plant tissues are. Plant tissues are groups of cells that work together to perform specific functions within a plant. Just like our organs work together in our body, plant tissues are the building blocks that enable plants to grow, develop, and thrive. Now, let's explore the main types of plant tissues. There are 2 primary categories: meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. First, let's talk about meristematic tissues. These are undifferentiated, actively dividing cells responsible for plant growth. There are 2 main types of meristematic tissues: apical meristems and lateral meristems. Now, let's move on to permanent tissues. These are mature, specialized cells that have lost their ability to divide but perform specific functions within the plant. Again, there are 2 categories of permanent tissues: simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues consist of one type of cell and can be categorized into 3 main types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Complex permanent tissues, on the other hand, consist of more than one type of cell. The 2 primary types of complex permanent tissues are xylem and phloem. Now that we've covered the main types of plant tissues, let's discuss how these tissues come together to form tissue systems. There are 3 tissue systems in plants: the dermal tissue system, the ground tissue system, and the vascular tissue system. Let's discuss all of them in detail one by one. Ever wondered how those tiny seeds become towering trees? Well, the secret lies in the world of meristematic tissues. Let's start at the very beginning. What on earth are meristematic tissues? Meristematic tissues are like the superheroes of the plant world. They are specialized plant cells responsible for growth, development, and the production of new cells. Here's a mind-blowing fact: meristematic tissues are the reason plants can grow throughout their lives. But where exactly do we find these growth powerhouses? Time to distinguish between the 2 main types: apical meristems and lateral meristems. Apical meristems, like the root apical meristem and shoot apical meristem, are found at the tips of roots and shoots. They're responsible for primary growth. Meanwhile, lateral meristems, such as the vascular cambium and cork cambium, reside along the sides of stems and roots, driving secondary growth. But how do these lateral meristems work their magic? Get this: lateral meristems make plants bulk up. They're the reason why trees can grow wider year after year. Let's uncover the secret behind meristematic tissues' power. Cell division. These remarkable cells are like perpetual motion machines, constantly undergoing mitosis and giving birth to new cells. Here's a question for you. What sets meristematic cells apart from their more laid-back plant cell counterparts? Let's explore the two flavors of meristematic tissues: primary and secondary meristems. Primary meristems lay the foundation for primary tissues, while secondary meristems step in to create secondary growth. Did you know that the rings in tree trunks are a result of secondary growth by the vascular cambium? Counting these rings can reveal the age of a tree. These meristematic tissues aren't just passive players, they're masters of growth manipulation. The activity of meristematic tissues is meticulously choreographed by factors like hormones, light, temperature, and genetics. But which of these factors is the true puppet master? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And there you have it, the mesmerizing world of meristematic tissues, where growth never stops, and mysteries abound. And now let's discuss permanent tissues one by one. Ever wondered how plants protect themselves and communicate with the world? Or how do they breathe? The answers might surprise you. We'll reveal them in just a bit, so stay tuned. We're diving into the fascinating world of dermal tissue in plants, and trust me, you're in for a blooming good time. First, let's peel back the layers and talk about the structure of dermal tissue. Did you know that the epidermal cells are like the skin of the plant? They're flat and elongated, forming a continuous layer that wraps around the plant like a protective hug. And speaking of protection, here's a fun fact. That shiny layer on the surface, the cuticle, is like a plant's sunscreen. It's made of waxy substances and helps keep the plant hydrated and safe from scorching sun and harmful microbes. Now, let's unlock the secrets of dermal tissue's functions. Ever wondered how plants breathe? Well, they do it through these tiny, mysterious openings called stomata. But here's a question for you. How do plants decide when to open and close these stomata to balance photosynthesis and prevent water loss? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's talk about water management. Can you guess how much water a plant can lose in a single day through transpiration? It's a staggering amount, and I'm about to reveal the answer. On a scorching hot day, a single plant can lose hundreds of liters of water through transpiration. But wait, there's more. Dermal tissue comes with some remarkable specialized structures. Ever heard of plant hairs? These are trichomes. They come in various shapes and sizes, and they're like the plant's fashion statement. But did you know they can also serve as defense mechanisms? Some even secrete sticky substances to trap unsuspecting prey. But let's not forget about the roots. Root hairs are like the plant's very own water-absorbing tentacles. Here's a challenge. Can you guess how much the surface area of a plant's roots increases with the help of these root hairs? The answer might surprise you. The surface area of a plant's roots can increase by hundreds or even thousands of times, thanks to these tiny root hairs. And in the world of woody plants, cork cells are like nature's armor. They replace the epidermis as the plant grows, ensuring it stays protected and insulated. It's like a superhero costume change. Plants are the ultimate survivors, adapting to their environments in remarkable ways. Check this out. Desert plants have evolved thick cuticles and unique adaptations to thrive in scorching deserts. But here's the burning question. How do they conserve water in such harsh conditions? The answer is in their remarkable ability to limit water loss. Their thick cuticles act like a barrier, reducing water evaporation from their leaves. Additionally, many desert plants open their stomata at night when it's cooler, reducing water loss during the hottest part of the day. Some even have specialized water storage tissues, like succulent stems and leaves, to store water for times of drought. These adaptations are like nature's own desert survival kit, allowing these plants to thrive where few others can. Now, let's dive into the world of aquatic plants. They're like the aqua men of the plant world. But here's a puzzler. How do they manage to exchange gases and thrive underwater without drowning? The secret lies in specialized structures called sclerenchyma and lenticels. These structures create air channels that allow oxygen to reach submerged roots and other parts of the plant, ensuring they stay afloat and healthy. And then there are the plant predators. Carnivorous plants have some of the coolest adaptations. But can you guess how they lure, catch, and devour their unsuspecting prey? It's a real-life plant mystery. We're diving to the world of ground tissue, a critical component of plant anatomy. Ground tissue is one of the three main types of plant tissues, alongside dermal and vascular tissues. It makes up the bulk of a plant's body and plays various essential roles. But here's a question for you. How much of a plant's body is actually composed of ground tissue? Ground tissue is composed of various types of cells, including parenchyma cells, collenchyma cells, and sclerenchyma cells. First up, let's talk about parenchyma cells. These cells have unique characteristics, like their isodiametric shape and thin primary cell walls. Parenchyma cells are often referred to as the workhorse cells of a plant because they perform various functions, including photosynthesis, storage, and wound healing. Some parenchyma cells, often referred to as sclerenchyma, are responsible for the green color in certain plant tissues, such as the flesh of green apples. Ground tissue cells, especially parenchyma cells, can differentiate and turn into stem cells under certain conditions, allowing them to contribute to plant regeneration and repair. In some desert-adapted plants, parenchyma cells in the root cortex can store water to sustain the plant during periods of drought. Now, moving on to collenchyma cells. These cells have elongated shapes and unevenly thickened primary walls, especially at the corners. These cells are important for young, growing plant parts. Collenchyma cells are often found just below the epidermis and provide flexible support to young stems and leaves, allowing them to bend without breaking as the plant reaches for the sun. Last but not least, sclerenchyma cells. The term sclerenchyma is derived from the Greek words skleros means hard and enchyma means tissue, aptly describing the function of these cells in providing hardness and rigidity to plant structures. These cells are specialized with thick secondary walls made of lignin, making them rigid and tough. These cells act as plant bodyguards. Their tough walls protect plant tissues from herbivores and pathogens. Sclerenchyma cells have some of the strongest cell walls in the plant kingdom, and they contribute to the toughness of materials like coconut husks and the shells of various nuts. Ground tissue is distributed throughout the plant body, but its composition and functions can change as the plant matures. That's why woody plants need more sclerenchyma cells than herbaceous plants. In herbaceous plants, you'll find more parenchyma cells, while woody plants have a mix of all three cell types, forming the pith and cortex. This change in composition supports their transition from flexibility to strength as they mature. Understanding ground tissue is vital for comprehending how plants grow and adapt. And here's a fun fact to wrap things up. Did you know that some plants can adjust the composition of their ground tissue in response to environmental conditions, and in most plants, ground tissue typically makes up around 90% or more of the plant's total volume. The diversity of ground tissue adaptations across different plant species is a testament to the incredible versatility and adaptability of plants to various environments and ecological niches. Plant vascular tissues are the lifelines of plants, responsible for transporting water, nutrients, and organic compounds throughout the entire plant structure. Vascular bundles have been around for hundreds of millions of years. They are a key innovation in plant evolution, allowing plants to grow taller and adapt to various environments. Before we dive into xylem and phloem, let's explore how these vital tissues develop. Vascular tissues originate from meristematic cells, particularly in the apical meristems and lateral meristems, like the vascular cambium. Now, let's discuss xylem tissues. Understanding xylem is key to comprehending how plants grow, thrive, and adapt to their environments. From towering trees to delicate wildflowers, xylem tissues are an essential part of the botanical world. Xylem cells in vascular bundles are like the plant's plumbing system, responsible for transporting water and dissolved minerals from the roots to the rest of plant. The water can move at incredible speeds, sometimes exceeding 100 meters per hour in tall trees, making it one of the fastest elevators on Earth. Xylem consists of several key cell types, including tracheids, vessel elements, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Tracheids are long, tapering cells that make up a significant portion of the xylem in most vascular plants. They have thick walls and small, overlapping pits. These cells are highly specialized for water transport and provide structural support to the plant. Vessel elements, on the other hand, are wider and shorter cells with perforated end walls. These perforations, called vessel perforation plates, allow for more efficient water flow between cells. Vessel elements are characteristic of angiosperms, or flowering plants. Xylem parenchyma cells are associated with the xylem and are often found interspersed among the tracheids and vessel elements. Unlike tracheids and vessel elements, xylem parenchyma cells retain their nuclei and are involved in various metabolic functions, including storage and repair. Xylem fibers are long, thick-walled cells that provide structural support to the plant. They are typically found alongside tracheids and vessel elements. These fibers add strength to the plant's xylem, helping it withstand mechanical stress. These various xylem components work in synergy to transport water and dissolved minerals efficiently throughout the plant. Xylem is typically located at the center of the stem and roots. Water and minerals are transported through xylem vessels due to transpiration and cohesion tension mechanisms. In some plants, like bamboo, the vascular bundles are particularly large and efficient. Bamboo can transport water and nutrients at an astonishing rate, which helps it grow rapidly, sometimes up to 1 meter per day. Xylem cells have thick walls reinforced with lignin, making them strong and rigid. In some trees, like the giant sequoia, the xylem can be so sturdy that it provides natural resistance against rot and decay, allowing these trees to live for thousands of years. Let's shift our focus towards phloem tissues, one of the unsung heroes of the plant kingdom. Have you ever wondered how plants transport the essential nutrients they produce through photosynthesis to various parts of their bodies? Well, it's all thanks to the incredible phloem tissue. In this video, we'll be exploring its structure, function, and the remarkable way it sustains life in the plant world. Phloem is responsible for transporting organic compounds, primarily sugars, from the leaves to other parts of the plant. While xylem cells are typically dead at maturity, phloem cells in vascular bundles remain alive. They maintain their metabolic activity to support the movement of sugars throughout the plant, akin to a living transportation system. Phloem consists of sieve tube elements, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Sieve tube elements are the main functional cells of the phloem. They are elongated, tube-like cells that form the conduits for transporting sugars and other organic compounds throughout the plant. These cells have specialized sieve plates with perforations that allow for the movement of nutrients between cells. Companion cells are closely associated with sieve tube elements and play a crucial role in supporting their metabolic activities. They maintain their nuclei and are responsible for providing energy and nutrients to the sieve tube elements, ensuring the efficient transport of sugars. Phloem parenchyma cells are dispersed throughout the phloem tissue and serve various functions. These cells store starch and other substances, participate in metabolic processes, and help maintain phloem integrity. Phloem fibers are long, slender cells that provide structural support to the phloem tissue. Their strong walls enhance the overall stability of the phloem and help resist mechanical stresses. These various components of phloem work in harmony to transport sugars and other organic compounds efficiently throughout the plant. Phloem functions through a process called translocation, where sugars are actively transported from source to sink tissues. This happens thanks to the pressure flow mechanism, with companion cells supporting the metabolic functions of sieve tube elements. Now, let's delve into the differences between phloem versus xylem. These two tissues are crucial for a plant's survival. Phloem and xylem are specialized tissues found in plants, responsible for the transportation of essential substances. Think of them as the plant's circulatory system. But here's the catch: they have distinct roles. Xylem is like the plant's water highway. It primarily transports water and minerals from the roots to the rest of the plant. These tissues are made up of dead cells with lignin walls, creating a sturdy and rigid structure. This structural feature helps support the plant. Phloem, on the other hand, is all about moving food. It transports the products of photosynthesis, such as sugars and other organic compounds, from the leaves where they are produced to other parts of the plant for growth, storage, or energy. One of the key differences between phloem and xylem lies in the types of cells they are composed of. Xylem cells are mostly dead at maturity, forming long, hollow tubes, while phloem cells are alive and actively involved in the transportation process. Another significant difference is the direction of transport. Xylem primarily transports water and minerals upward, from the roots to the leaves. So it's a one-way flow, while phloem transports organic compounds in both directions, up and down the plant. So, how do these differences impact plant growth? Xylem's role in water transport is crucial for maintaining turgidity and supporting the plant's structure, while phloem's transport of sugars and nutrients is essential for growth, reproduction, and energy production. In conclusion, phloem and xylem are like the dynamic duo of a plant's vascular system, working together to ensure its survival and growth. While xylem focuses on water and mineral transport, phloem takes care of the plant's food distribution. Plant vascular tissues are organized into vascular bundles, which may vary in arrangement between monocots and dicots. For example, in monocots like grasses, they are scattered throughout the stem, whereas in dicots like trees, they are arranged in a ring. Plus, the vascular bundles are crucial for both primary and secondary growth in plants. Primary growth is responsible for the plant's initial growth in length, while secondary growth, mainly driven by the vascular cambium, increases the plant's girth. Keep in mind that the structure and activity of xylem and phloem can vary among plant species. For example, in deciduous trees, the activity of vascular bundles changes with the seasons. During winter, the xylem may slow down to conserve water, while in the spring, it revs up to transport water needed for new leaf growth. Moreover, some desert plants have developed specialized vascular bundles that allow them to store water efficiently. These adaptations help them survive in harsh, water-scarce environments. And there you have it, a comprehensive overview of plant tissues, from their development to their components, functions, and how they support plant life. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and also press the bell icon for more videos about science and biology.